What is going on, YouTube people? Northeast Ohio Cards and Comics here to talk a little Starstock today. That's right, one of our favorite online selling platforms, Starstock. They have a bunch of updates that have come down. They also had a PSA sub come back, which I had cards in. So we're going to kind of dive into all that. Like, comment, subscribe, all the YouTube stuff down below. If you haven't checked out Starstock, I don't know why you wouldn't. There is a $10 deal that they're running. If you use my user code, which is in the description down below, and deposit $10, you get an extra $10, and I get $10. You get 10, I get 10, we all get 10. So I've had my issues with Starstock lately, but in general, it still is a fairly solid platform. Things have slowed down on there, but they seem to be at least adding more cards. And with the PSA subs starting to roll back in, I'm hoping things pick back up again. So all that being said, let's go ahead and dive in today. So Starstock was doing PSA submissions. For those unfamiliar with the platform, you send them raw cards or graded cards. You sell them on an online platform. No returns, instant transmission. You don't physically see the cards. You just know what you're buying. It transfers to your account, yada, yada, yada. Raw cards, they assign grades to Starstock A's, B's, and C's. Starstock A's, they are saying are near mint to mint plus, basically. So PSA 9s, PSA 10s. B's are like PSA 8s. And then C's have like significant something wrong with them. So it gives you a little bit of confidence buying a raw card. So Starstock A's will usually sell for a little bit of a premium. Late last year, they announced that they were going to start doing PSA submissions. December was the first one. December's went out the door and came back lightning fast as I think regular service. I don't even remember what they were charging. It's been so long. I think it was $40 a card, $20 a card. I honestly have no idea. I cannot remember. Regardless, it came back, and these were the rates on their first submission in December. 40% 10s, 52% 9s, and then 7% 8s or lowers. The way I understand it, the people that got like less than 8s, I think actually got their money back. I don't remember about the people that got 8s, but so 40% on average of Starstock A's end up being PSA 10s. That seems reasonable enough to me. So that would allow for a slight premium to be placed on Starstock A's. You can kind of work the math out there, factor in grading fees and whatnot. So they continued to roll these forward. January, they ran it back again. And I think they did February and March until PSA shut down. So I did not hop in the first sub, but I did get in the second sub. And everyone saw that the numbers came back really quick and everyone was excited. And then nothing happened. And now it is September, 9 months later, and we are getting our cards back, or have gotten them back at this point. Now, I did not have any cards in my portfolio that I felt was worth the grading cost. So at the time, and this is where this gets complicated, I went out and bought stuff specifically to grade. So I bought 2 Keldon Johnson Silvers, Starstock A's, Select Concourse, a Keldon Johnson Silver Prism, and a DeAndre Hunter Silver Prism. Extremely hot players at the time, low pop in their silvers. Assuming I was going to get it back fast. Stuff happened. I didn't. So I bought those cards extremely high. And then I got the cards back this week. We'll get into that in a second. Let's hop over here. This is the number for sub number 2. 51% PSA 10s, a little under 45% PSA 9s, 4% PSA 8s. So much, much better numbers. I am not surprised by this. After they started doing PSA subs, a lot of people were saying that they were being more picky on Starstock A's. Like people that were sending in raw cards, we're seeing more Starstock B's come across their desk. So 51% PSA 10s, not terrible. Not terrible at all. So a little over 50%, or right about 50% PSA 10s. And once again, you could start working out the math on that, depending on what the cost to grade is, on what sort of premium can be put on a Starstock A over a base raw card. My own personal submission, I sent 4 cards. I got 4 PSA 9s. We'll flip over to Starstock here really quickly. So here's my DeAndre Hunter PSA 9 silver, Keldon Johnson silver PSA 9, and Keldon Johnson PSA 9 silver. I lost money on all 4 of these cards for sure. I didn't pull up the spreadsheet to look because I kind of don't even want to know, but it's fine. I did it mostly as an experiment just to see how it would go. The thing that really compounded it is that I bought the cards raw at like their all-time peak values. Like Starstock A's silver DeAndre Hunters were not cheap cards. I could actually probably look here. Yeah, I paid $100 for the Starstock A's of the Keldon Johnson silvers, $220 for the Starstock A of the Prism base. Holy smokes! I did not realize it was that bad. Wow. Yikes. That hurts. So in a PSA 9, this Keldon Johnson is about $50-$60. These are about $50, the select silvers. So that's $200-$400 plus grading fees. Let's call it $460. And I'm gonna probably get $150 out of it. Whoopsie. Let's look at DeAndre Hunter. I'm sure that was not cheap either. DeAndre Hunter silver $135. That's like a $50 card maybe. And that's not factoring in the grading fee. So, yeah. Wild times, though. DeAndre Hunter base. January. Man, when you look at January's numbers, DeAndre Hunter base, $70. It is what it is. It was a compounding problem of buying the cards at absolutely the wrong time. You know, I lost my ass on it, but it's fine. Part of it was purposely for... I wanted to do a video on it. I wanted to see how the whole process went. Let's talk about the process. So it needs improved if they're going to run it back. I mean, obviously right now PSA is closed. The 2 biggest things I'd like to see. One, there is nothing that shows what you sent unless you just happen to keep an email. When you submit what you're sending, you literally fill out a Google Doc, which is not the greatest thing in the world. So I had to keep, the way I would remember was I would go back and watch the video that I did on it, is how I'd remember what I sent them. The compounding problem is, and this would be so easy to fix, just put it in a Google spreadsheet if you want to use Google Drive for everything, or just make a dashboard or something. It couldn't be hard. They gave you 0 updates along the way of where the cards were at. And like, I'm not expecting daily updates, but there should be a link somewhere on Starstock's website that I could click on that says Starstock grading. And I could click on it and it shows January sub. Shipped on this day, received on this day, entered into the system on this day. Here's where it's at processing. It's in grading. It's in encapsulation. It's in QA1. It's in received, whatever. And then just update it when it changes. It would take someone 5 minutes to do that. And it would probably save them 150 customer service emails wondering, hey, where are these cards at in the submission order? So that really frustrated me. The other thing that frustrated me was the timing. I really feel like they pulled a bait and switch on us. Now, I don't know how much of it was PSA and how much of it was Starstock and whatever deal they had, because all I know is the December sub went out at the end of December and that thing came back lightning fast. They had those cards back in like 30 days. And I'm like, holy smokes. If Starstock and PSA are going to work together and they're going to churn cards around in 30 days, this is a game changer. And so a ton of people jumped in that January sub thinking those cards were going to come back in a month. If I would have got those cards back in a month, I probably could have broke even on those. Instead of now I'm going to take a massive loss on them. But that sub took 9 months. Once again, is that on PSA? I don't know. How did the first one come back so fast and then the second one didn't? I mean, I'll give Starstock the benefit of the doubt here to a degree and say, obviously, it's PSA's grading it. It's out of their hands. But I feel like they got special treatment on the first sub and then something happened. because there's no way that sub would have came back in 30 days anywhere else. And then it kind of set the expectations that, oh, cool, I'm going to submit these in January and have them back in February. And that is not what happened. That was part of the reason that I paid what I did for the raw cards, because my thought process was I'd have them back fast. Realistically, I was hoping to split it 50-50, get 2 10s and 2 9s and, make the profit on the 10s. And I was just looking to basically come out even and get some content out of it, essentially, and kind of ride through the experience and take you guys and girls along the ride with me. But that clearly didn't happen. So that was a little frustrating. Starstock in general, it is still a really solid platform. I have my grievances with it. I feel like they could have improved a lot of things faster that they're still working on or still in the queue. I feel like they kind of lost their way with breaks. It still bothers me that they do repack products. I'm not a fan of that at all. Breaks or whatever, but I feel like they spend, it's probably not even the same people, but I just feel like the breaks get way more of Starstock's attention than like back-end site improvements to actually make the product better that you launched on. It's still very easy to ship graded cards home to and fro. You can still get good deals on there, and you can still grind out a profit, doing micro flips on A's and B's and stuff like that. People do it all the time still to this day. It's not as crazy as it was back in December, January, and February, but you could definitely still do it. They also recently just announced that they are taking way more cards now. Anything from 2000 and onwards, rookie cards, you could send them raw or graded. There's a 25 or 50% ingestion fee. I think it's 25 cents ingestion fee for raw cards. And then I don't remember if they have that for graded cards or not. I haven't sent them cards in forever. So that information, you could find it all there. So that's the Starstock report from the second PSA sub. Once again, 51% PSA 10s. To me, I know a lot of people are going to be like, that's a joke. Like, it should be way higher. To me, that feels fair. And that, I think, justifies some of the increased premium that a Starstock A gets on the Starstock marketplace. Like, to me, that backs it up, and that all checks out. And that number, it's nice to see that it improved. And like I said, I do think they cracked down on Starstock A's a little tougher with them opening up grading. I do hope these submissions coming back in kind of juice the market a little bit, because I don't know how many cards. Well, they didn't say how many cards went out in this one. The first sub had what is that? Over 1,000 cards in it. I assume the second sub had the same, if not more. So that's a lot of graded cards to hit the marketplace. So hopefully that juices the marketplace a little bit, and there should be a couple more subs coming. I do think if PSA opens back up again and they continue to do business with them, I do think that would be an interesting angle for, I think it would juice the marketplace a little bit, because there'd be more people in a fevered pitch for A's, Starstock A's, to be able to send them out for grading. And then, the cards come back in and it is what it is. Now it's a little, blind luck. You're not seeing what's going off. So you don't have your own personal biases on whether you think it could 9 or 10. You kind of put it in the faith in their hands. So, a little bit risk there. But the ease of process is pretty simple, because you don't really have to do anything other than send them money. And they actually just deduct it straight from your Starstock account. So I would like to see grading come back on there once it opens back up again. But like I said, they need to fix their communication side on the grading. That is a massive hole, and I've seen a lot of people complain about it. So I hope they are listening. Just make some sort of dashboard. I don't think it would be that hard. So that's all I have for you guys and girls today. Curious for your thoughts. Are you using Starstock, not using Starstock? Do you have any cards out with them for grading? Did you get cards back in this submission? If you did, I'd be curious to know your grades in the comments down below. So like, comment, sub. Catch you guys and girls on the next one. Peace.